The national rollout of the Administrative Adjudication of Road Traffic Offences Act, AARTO, traffic penalty system has once again been pushed back. The Transport Ministry has confirmed that full implementation will now only take effect from 1 July 2026, a shift from the previously announced date of 1 December 2025. So why the delay, and what does this mean for road users, for municipalities, and for the long-promised points demerit system? To help us unpack the latest developments, we're joined by the spokesperson for the Department of Transport, Collen Msibi. Collen, good afternoon. Thank you so much for your time. Really do appreciate it. Talk us to it. Why the delay?
Well, thanks for the opportunity. Look, we've got to learn from our experiences. I don't know if you were here in 2007 when we implemented what we call the E80s at the time. The glitches we had taught us that probably before you implement any other system, you need to make sure that everything is okay.
Yeah.
At this point, the reason why we've had to postpone, the major reason, one, it is to align the implementation with the financial year of the local government, which is the 1st of July. Two, we've had to deal with the issues of harmonization. Just to tie up the loose ends in terms of harmonization as to the fines must be similar across the country.
Right.
You don't want somebody to go to Durban, you get a 1,000 rand fine for crossing the robot, and when you come to Joburg, it's 500 rand. So we've got to harmonize all those kind of system. And it's not that we're not doing it. We've been doing it, but we need to make sure of all those things. But thirdly is the issue of training, back office staff that is going to be running the particular system, but also the training of the traffic officers, which has already been happening, by the way. But there was a specific amendment to the regulations, which has to deal with the number allocated to an officer. When you issue an infringement, you must align that with that particular number. So they've got to be trained around that particular issue. But as I said, the main issue, I mean, in government, that's planning. I'm sure even here at SABC, your plans must align with your financial year, so you have to budget.
So I was about to ask, actually, why is it necessary for the implementation, the start date implementation of this to align with the financial year? What's the technical reason?
Because the councils must vote for the budget and then allocate the budget for the implementation. Others are ready. That's what they've been saying to us. They are ready. We know they are ready. But there are others who are saying they are not necessarily financially ready. So we don't want, that's why I'm using the narration about E80s. You start something, and then in the middle of it, you run out of money. So that's basically trying to avoid such things. But if there is a vote which has been taken on the budget for the implementation, then we don't have problems down the line.
Well, that's not guaranteed, right? Because you could still vote on a bad budget and still run out of money along the line and still have a situation where some councils aren't able to fully implement this across the financial year.
No, but there's costing. So you've got to cost your program or system that you're going to implement. So the budget is based on your costing. So you can't all of a sudden say, I've run out of money. Who do you blame? So unfortunately, that is why RTI is there, so that they can assist the municipalities in terms of the costing of the system.
Yeah. Is that really the only technical reason? Because all the other stuff just sounds like planning run into some snags. Because surely when the minister announced the date of 1 December, the minister would have said, well, I think we would have done all these sort of things by then, with the exception of course, the alignment with the financial year. For instance, figuring out the demerit point system, figuring out the sanctions and the fines, figuring out what the rehabilitation programs would look like to drivers whose licenses have been suspended. And all of those sorts of things would have been part of the initial planning. So I would imagine when Minister Barbara Christie said, for 1 December, we're ready to go, that it would have been the case.
Well, in terms of the stages of the system, that's sorted, it's locked. It's the issues about now, how do we implement? Do we have the money, this municipality, that municipality? So if the people come forward and say, financially, I'm not ready, can you give us a bit of time? You've got to listen to them. There's trackers who've been coming and saying, we have a problem with the system. We've got to listen to them. Yeah. But the reality is that even in E80s, people are complaining. But we've had to go ahead. Can you imagine if we took a decision at that time that we are not implementing E80s, we would still be stuck with the fragmented system all over the country. So we had to make that decision that we're going ahead with E80s. So right here, obviously when something is new, change is quite a difficult thing for the country sometimes. So once you introduce, because this is quite a radical change, by the way, that's going to happen, because it simply means if you're a habitual offender, you drive Oliver to Durban at 200, and we catch you all the time, eventually the system is going to kick you out, because we're going to have to suspend your license. Once we suspend it 3 times, the 4th time, we cancel. We catch you driving when your license has been cancelled or suspended. That's criminal offense. So this is really a huge radical change, which I think we must embrace, because it simply deals, I mean, just yesterday, 10 people died in the Free State. And then, do you know who gets blamed? Government. But when we introduce these changes, no, this system is not going to help the country. For instance, people are saying, what about professional drivers are going to lose their license? How are they going to feed their families? Just obey the rules of the road. Then you'll feed your families.
Just very quickly, what sort of support will be given to municipalities that are technically insolvent and don't have the financial capabilities to execute this? Is there some sort of grant that will come through the Appropriations Act or the Division of Revenue bill to be able to support them through that?
Well, I think they've got to use their equity share. As National Department, we are not giving any grants for the implementation of this. So we've got, because they've already got, there is what you call traffic management system already in the municipalities. So we are trying to change that so that it speaks to each other. There is harmonization across the country. So it's not like we're introducing...
Is the work fragmented?
Yes, it is fragmented. When you go to Cape Town, speaking on your cell phone, they give you R1,000 fine. But what happens in Johannesburg? I'm not so even sure how much is it that you've got to pay in Johannesburg. So it's fragmented, it's all over the place. But here in Johannesburg and Tshwane, what you call AARTO is already implemented.
Okay. Has the fine system now been harmonized?
Yes, in terms of...
across the country?
Across the country, yes. That's why I'm saying it gives us an opportunity to just fine-tune, tie up the loose ends, but that is done already. We are ready. Once we start 1st December, 1st July, that would have been done already. It's already done.
In the interceding period, what will be the role of the Road Traffic Infringement Agency?
It is training, because they've got to train the back office staff. For instance, when you commit offences, there is a system where your name will be captured. It's like that one, what do you call it, sexual offenders.
Yeah.
They've got a system where they capture those. The AARTO, they would have that system to run. At the moment, it is a module of INATIS. So they are taking it out so that it becomes a system on its own, being run by AARTO. So they're busy with that, but more so, they are assisting the municipalities in terms of training of the back office, how the system works, while the RTMC is focusing on the training of law enforcement officers.
Yeah. We know that a lot of municipalities have severe staff shortages around not filling up vacancies. Do we know that traffic officers across the countries are sufficiently capitalized in terms of human resources?
Look, the issue of traffic officers has always been an issue for many years for us. I mean, I think we've got about 22,000 traffic officers as a country. If you look at the vehicle population, I think it's about 14 million vehicles we have on the road, 14 or 13. And people who are having licenses is close to about 16 million. So you can see the imbalance. So we've got to use what we have. For instance, at the national level, the National Traffic Police, I think there's about 800 to 900. So the resources in terms of the human capital, there's shortages. But we've got to use what we have to be able to do this work. At the moment, we are running with those
administrative staff?
Well, the administrative staff, fortunately, we had to hire people to be able to do this work. It's not like we've had to use the staff that is there. So for this system to be able to, we've got to train people from scratch. So there was that, if I recall correctly, I mean, AARTO can correct this. They had to hire people to be able to be trained for this particular system to be implemented.
Yeah, and this is the final pushback. There are no more after this.
To be honest, 1st July, we're going ahead. What's going to happen now? We've had to withdraw the proclamation, of the 1st of December. We're going to issue another one that talks about the 1st of July. The staggered approach that we spoke about, we're still going to take the same approach. We're going to start with 69 municipalities in December. So that moves to 1st of July now. So we've got to then see, is it still 69 1st of July? And then the next batch is 144, which was going to be the 1st of April.
Yeah.
So I think I just want to maybe to allay your fears. The demerit system is not coming into effect on the 1st of July. It's going to be staggered later. I mean, if we're starting in 1st of December, it was going to come in on the 1st of September. Okay. The demerit system.
Okay, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much for your time. Really do appreciate it. Collen Msibi, the spokesperson to the Department of Transport.